Hi guys, so I'm here today to talk about cutting down on plastic. A little bit different, but I've mentioned at least once, maybe twice in videos this year that something I'm trying to actively do in 2018 and forward is cut down on my use of plastic, and particularly disposable plastic and packaging. It's just something I felt like I needed to incorporate into my life. Obviously lots of plastic is technically recyclable, but we do actually have almost too much plastic at this point, at least in the UK, than we can kind of handle, and it also just seems unnecessary. So I'm trying to just change my ways a little bit, but in easy, manageable ways. I'm not completely changed my entire life this year. I'm gradually just trying to make it a part of my life and make those easy choices that I perhaps wasn't making before that actually make a big difference. So I thought it might be interesting to do a little video chatting about my experience so far this year on cutting back on plastic, where I found it easier than other places, what changes I've made, and those kind of things. Now, a lot of the things in this video I'm sure many of you already do. Some of you are probably doing a lot more than I am, but others are probably very much like I was last year, in that you aren't doing these things but you could quite easily do them. So you might find this helpful if it's something you're interested in sort of thinking about in your everyday life. And I say thinking about, but a lot of this stuff becomes second nature. So I've not really planned out where I'm going to start in this video, but perhaps I should just talk about the things that I have already replaced in my life that I'm not going to go back to the plastic version of, because I think that's a really easy one. Now, the first thing I will say is, of course, to not use plastic bags. Now, this is something that I already did. I have done this for years. In my house growing up, I think we were reasonably eco-friendly, and we usually used reusable bags, particularly when in Scotland they introduced a 5p charge for bags in shops, which happened earlier than in England, and also applies to like retail shops, because I'm not sure if that applies in England. I know in the supermarket you have to pay 5p for a bag, but I'm sure I've gone into shops in England that sell clothes and things and not being charged 5p for a bag, but I don't know if that's just a mistake. You definitely have to pay 5p at least for every bag in Scotland, which is to encourage you to reuse your bags. And I generally use canvas tote bags, although I have a few other different types of reusable bags, but you're always getting free canvas tote bags because of things. So I have another bag just full of canvas tote bags. Whenever I leave the house, I take at least one with me. If I know I'm going to be doing a food shop or need more space to carry things, I take more than one. But it's such a good thing to get into the habit of doing, taking a bag with you wherever you go in case you need to pick something up, even if it's a t-shirt or a book. Try not to take more bags, I always think. So that's something I was already doing, but some things that I wasn't doing before are things like using soap. So again, actually, my parents always used soap, and not even out of like, I think, an eco-friendly decision, that was just habit. But I then, when I moved out, got into the habit of using shower gel, and I've been using shower gels for years, and they come in plastic bottles most of the time, at least the ones I buy did. But since the beginning of this year, I have been using soap. So I've been buying soap from Lush. This is actually my second bar of the year, because although Lush's soap is sometimes a little bit more expensive, I think this bar might have cost me like £7. It was a lot bigger to begin with. They are huge and they do last. So the other bar of soap I think I got was like £5–6, and it lasted me for ages. And this one I did want to mention, because in my Lush haul where I talked about cutting down on plastic and using soap, people asked about it being drying, and I will say the other soap I bought was quite drying. It was a sort of citrus lemon soap, and it was quite drying. This, however, is their honey I wash the kids soap. I went into Lush and specifically said to one of the sales assistants if they could recommend me the most moisturising soap they did, and she said this was really good, and I have found it has not dried my skin out like the other soap did. So I'm really enjoying this, and we'll probably pick up more of it. It just smells like honey, which I like. Yummy. And yeah, so using soap is something I've been able to do. I've not been using shower gel, but like I said, Lush soap isn't always the cheapest, and you can just buy soap in the supermarket or in Boots in cardboard boxes as opposed to plastic packaging, which is already better. if you're trying to cut down on plastic. So that's another way to look out for soap. It's definitely something you can get that involves less plastic than shower gel, and once you're in the habit of using it, it's absolutely fine. It's kind of weird that I got so out of the habit of using soap and almost didn't want to use soap for such a long time, when really it does the job. On the topic of like toiletries and bath products, however, I've also been using solid shampoo. I'm not massively into this one because I had some leftover shampoo when I bought this, so I was using that up. But this is a shampoo bar. I've got it in a little Lush tin here, and this one's called Jason and the Argan Oil. Love the classically inspired name. And I really like this solid shampoo. I think it does the job. I've always been more particular about conditioners in any way than shampoos, so like I'm a little bit more easygoing with shampoo, although there are ones I have not liked. But this I like. It does the job. I think it cleans my hair, it doesn't make it really brittle or dry. And it doesn't make me oily either, so it's the perfect in-between. And it smells nice. And also, again, like the soap, rub it, get a good lather, and you've barely used any of it. It lasts quite a long time. I'd actually used solid shampoos from Lush before, so I kind of knew I was going to like it. But yeah, I've been enjoying using that. The one thing I will say, however, is I have not managed to find a solid conditioner. This was something I mentioned in the Lush haul where I talked about cutting down on plastic, is that I was going to try some solid conditioners for my hair, and I have not found one I like. I tried one from Lush and I just could not get enough product out of it. I have naturally very thick and quite like coarse hair, and it's also coated in bleach, so it gets quite dry, and I like to use a lot of conditioner and lather that into my hair. And the one from Lush that I tried just could not get enough product off, and as I was like getting more and more off, it was like shrinking in my hands. It just seemed like such a waste of money, unfortunately. It wasn't for my hair. I did leave it at my house in Edinburgh, however, and my mum's been enjoying it. She's got shorter hair, she doesn't use as much conditioner as I did, and she's quite happy with it. But for me, that was not working. So if you know of any like really good conditioners that don't involve plastic, that are good for dry hair, where you can get a lot of product out of them, then I would love to hear about it. But unfortunately at this point I have not managed to get rid of conditioner. And this is the thing, I did consider at the beginning of the year just saying no more plastic. I am still using plastic, I am still buying plastic bottles of conditioner. I'm just trying to make it work gradually and with my life. And also sometimes making decisions like cutting back on plastic can at first feel quite expensive, because you feel like you're having to replace things and change things in your life, and that's also something I've got to consider, like many of you. Something I have been doing, which I'm really pleased with, which I have done in the past but I have like faded in and out of, is using a reusable water bottle. So I've had reusable water bottles in the past. I had a plastic one for a couple of years that I used religiously, and then it started leaking, so I got rid of it and then never replaced it for months. So I was buying plastic water bottles in the shop and filling them at home, and then maybe using them for a week and then replacing them again, and again buying lots of plastic and also wasting money when I was out and about. And now whenever I have a big enough bag, so if I'm going somewhere like the library or university where I'm carrying my backpack and I know I'm going to be sitting around for a long time needing rehydration, I have been using my reusable water bottle. Now somebody's going to ask, aren't they, why is it a mess? This is a stainless steel water bottle. I just bought this online. Does the job. It keeps your liquids cool and hot, so I could use it for hot liquids if I wanted, although I haven't tried. And I took it to the gym, because I obviously take a water bottle to the gym with me, and it fell off a treadmill and rolled underneath the treadmill, which then subsequently crushed it. That's what happened here. But it still works! Great thing about stainless steel water bottle, very durable. It may have a massive dent in it now, but it still holds my water, so that's been good. I have also converted to powder laundry detergent. So this is Morrison's non-bio washing powder for washing your clothes in the washing machine. And again, for years I've been using liquid, which comes in a plastic bottle. So I've been using the exact same thing. I've been using the Morrison's non-bio liquid laundry detergent, which I was always quite happy with, and chucking out the plastic bottles, recycling them, yeah, but still using lots of disposable plastic. And it just occurred to me, why am I not just using the powdered version? It's exactly the same, and it comes in a cardboard box, so I'm using cardboard instead of plastic. So Seems so simple. Yeah, I've gotten into the habit of using this. I actually think it's slightly cheaper as well, so I think I'm saving myself money. And this is a small box, which says it uses 10 washes. It definitely makes more than 10 washes. I've also been trying to avoid plastic with my fruit and vegetables. Generally speaking, I tried to do that in the past. Like, I would buy loose bananas as opposed to buying bananas packaged in loads of plastic. But I've just been being a little bit more actively conscious about it. So occasionally there's not been, say, any bananas in plastic, and I just thought, I desperately need the bananas. No, I could wait until I go to the next shop or the next day and buy a different piece of fruit that is loose. So I've been being a little bit more actively conscious on making sure not to buy as much plastic with my fruit and veg. It still happens occasionally. I did an online supermarket shop and the apples came in plastic, even though I wasn't really thinking that they would, but they came bubble wrapped, which was a little bit annoying. But generally I've been just actively avoiding getting plastic with my fruit and vegetables. You know, if you're buying sweet potatoes or apples, do you need one of those little plastic bags, or can you just put them in your basket or trolley and then put them in your bag later? You don't really need those little plastic bags that they offer you for the loose fruit and veg. So that's something else I've been doing, and something I haven't necessarily been doing, but something my flatmate has just turned me on to literally as of a few days ago, because she got me this as a birthday present, and I definitely think it's something I'm going to look more into, is toilet paper. So my flatmate got me this for my birthday, which is Who Gives a Crap toilet paper. So this is a box full of individually paper wrapped toilet rolls in these jazzy patterns. There's another one. Let's see. Here's some more. Yes, look at all of that jazzy wrapping. And this might seem mad and you might think, why did my flatmate buy this for me as a birthday present? But she was being very considerate because of what I've been talking about, trying to be a bit more eco-friendly and cutting down on plastic, and she discovered this company that some people she knew used called Who Gives a Crap, which supplied toilet paper that is all recycled and packaged in paper as opposed to plastic. So obviously a lot of toilet paper, not all, is packaged in plastic, so it's avoiding that. And then in general as well, it is obviously made from recycled goods. So it says 50% of our profits are donated to build toilets and 100% recycled, 3-ply, no inks, dyes or scents. Reorder at whogivesacrap.org. So something some of you might want to check out. I mean, who doesn't want this in their bathroom? It's so much jazzier than normal toilet paper. Love it. I mean, inside it's just plain white, but the packaging is brilliant. And I just thought it was a really thoughtful little gift, and I wanted to tell you guys about the company since she put me onto them. But generally speaking, those are most of the changes I've made this year. Obviously, I'm still consuming a lot of plastic. I mean, my moisturiser for my face is plastic. Other things I've done are things like, instead of buying a plastic bottle of bubble bath for my mum like I did at Christmas, I bought her some like bubble bars from Lush, because then they don't come in plastic. And just generally I think I've been thinking about it more, I've been more conscious about it, and obviously other people in my life have sort of caught on to that and have been trying to help me, which is really, really lovely. And I'm pleased with the little changes I've made in my life. I feel like I'm on the right track, and I'm really keen to talk about this with you because I'm sure a lot of you have found other easy ways in their life to cut down on plastic, and I'd love to hear about them. And some of you might also have found this interesting or useful for little changes you can make in your life. So yeah, this is my little random video on plastic. Obviously also recycling is a given. You should all be doing that. But I hope you have enjoyed this video and just, you know, chatting with me about this little project that I'm on. And I hope that you guys will engage with me in the comments, even though it's a little bit of something different. I would love to hear from you. And until next time guys, happy reading, good luck giving up the plastic, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!